This is incredible. Kythira Island, Greece. Yassas, Kalispera, how's it going? Today is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025, currently 91 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 33 degrees Celsius. This is beautiful Kythira Island and Capsali, where I've been staying for the past 4 nights. Rental car, the red one that you might have seen right up there, 30 euros or about $34 US per day. Looks like, yep, definitely beehives. I can see the combs right there, so want to be careful here. But as I was leaving, having just had brunch there and heading to the first adventure destination for the day, then I saw that we were going to get a good look at the St. John on the Cliff Church. So you can see it a lot better from here. The lower part, which is where the door is locked once again. I tried again today for the 3rd time, and again, locked door. So at brunch, then I asked the waitress there if she knew anything about the church and when it might actually be open. She didn't, but somebody else at the restaurant there did, and they said that the person who normally would unlock the church has been gone or something for like more than a year, and so it hasn't been open in a long time other than for religious holidays or whatever. So out of luck on that. As I discussed in my last video, this is a very, very, very important church here. This is where St. John started writing the book of Revelation in the New Testament. He completed it on Patmos Island, Greece, but apparently he lived here and had started writing the book and then was exiled by the Romans and ended up in Patmos Island as a result. And so I've been to the island of Patmos and to the cave where he wrote the book there, where he lived, I guess. And so was especially intrigued to see this, having discovered that piece of history. Now, I think that I said yesterday that he had written the book in that church. Now, of course, that church would not have existed back in the 1st century AD when he was alive and writing the book of Revelation. Apparently, it was written in 95 AD. But that is some pretty just absolutely incredible history there. And it is also a super intriguing looking church. The upper part there, embedded into the cliff, I can see the doors and windows. There are like multiple windows, I guess, there. So I was so curious to see inside that one. But so it goes. But there is some potential good news. Let's start walking away from the bees and tell you a little bit about where I'm going next, which is just a 7-minute drive away from here. And if we get luckier than we have over the past several days, they've closed doors. Then this is another cave church. Not as significant as that one, but hopefully we will get inside. We shall see. So let's do it. Here's the car. Let's get the day of exploring on Kythira Island going.
Next left.
Love these landscapes here. Cave. That is a good sign. Saint Sophia. But
keep left.
Will it be open?
In 600 meters, turn left.
And will I be able to turn around? If I have to back up this whole thing, man, that is going to be horrendous. I'm sure there will be a turnaround. But wow, just
take the next left.
Gorgeous terrain. So we have signs for hiking trails. Levadi, a town that I went through yesterday, 2 hours, 40 minutes. Capsali, that's where I'm staying, 50-minute walk. Spillies, I don't know anything about that, 20 minutes. And Kalamos, 30 minutes. That way, that is where I'm going to go next. Found a spot there. This road was getting pretty narrow, so decided to not take my chances going up it, but it is a short walk from here up to a cave church. Hopefully, doors open. Although, if the same guy is supposed to open this one as that one, the St. John Church, then out of luck. But either way, what a beautiful spot for a hike. Love these canyons, rocks, bushes, flowers. I guess a creek here in the winter. So we're getting close. I think we might have good news. Yes. Yeah, this one is just wide open. All right. Yay. What a cave. Whoa, look at that big hole there. All right, well, the day is off to a better start than yesterday. And look at that, some stalactites and stalagmites. All right. So I wonder how often they have some sort of a service there. Every Sunday or just every once in a while. Right on. Well, glad this one finally worked out. For one thing, I wanted to show something other than beaches, because coming up next is going to be beaches. That is the main thing that I have in mind to visit today. And then Kalamos town. Whoops. Sunglasses and hat. So I'm not sure what there is to see in Kalamos. If anything, I will be basically passing through there on the way to a nice beach. So, especially on a day like this, over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 33 Celsius, that is hot and getting hotter as it goes into the afternoon. So definitely want to spend a fair amount of time in that very cold Mediterranean Sea. So there you can see Capsali and Hora or Kythira town. I've shown both of those in previous videos. Capsali is where I had breakfast. Levadi, where I was yesterday, and then Chalkos, Vrulea, Firi Amos. Those are all nice spots on the sea. And up ahead here is the village of Kalamos. Okay, Vrulea is this way. Firi Amos is that way. Chalkos Beach. Let's go to Firi Amos first. Very peaceful village. Firi Amos to the left. I can get to Vrulea that way as well. Beautiful gardens. Oh. Huh. It said Firi Amos this way, but both say dead ends. So what to do, I guess turn around. And here, a very old looking church. So this is the end of one of those dead-end roads where, in fact, the road died right at the beach. Firi Amos, look at that, reddish sand. Huge, gorgeous beach, beautiful blue waters, absolutely epic in the true sense of the word. Landscapes here, and one car, and I don't see those people on the beach anywhere. So they're at the end or on a hike or who knows. So, considering the red sand, Amos in Greek means sand. The word for beach is paralia. And so I was assuming Firi Amos, red sand beach. Firi must mean fire. So fire beach. But when I looked it up on Google Translate, it wouldn't translate Firi at all. And so out of curiosity, I looked up Fira, F-I-R-A, which is of course the famous town on Santorini Island where you get the amazing views of the volcanic crater. And that didn't mean fire. It meant I am afraid. So Fira is as in fear, I guess, not fire. So maybe Firi does actually mean fire, but it's a different word from the usual word or something, I don't know, but that would make sense. It seems like Fire Beach. Anyways, wow, I mean, if this was Santorini, this beach would just be so jam-packed even now, early June. Maybe not jam-packed, it's a big long beach and it's kind of out of the way, but this is definitely illustrating why Kythira is such an absolutely amazing island. It is just more packed with things to see, nicer beaches, more variety than just about any other Greek island, and yet very, very few people here. I'm sure July and August, as usual, it will be a lot more crowded, but it is going into the summer tourist season. It is good and hot, and absolutely astounding beach all to myself. Look at that water just like gently lapping. That is the way that I like it. No little waves even. You can see right through it even from here. So definitely going to hang out here for a little while. Get in that water right away. So we got pebbles. Sand up there, then turns to pebbles. So Fire Sand or Fire Beach is definitely a good name for this one because this sand is freaking hot. So this is one way to cool it down a little bit, get some water on there, and then I will do this a couple more times and then throw the wet sarong onto the sand. I mean, not throw it, but spread it out in a rectangle like I'm going to lay down on it later. And then wet sarong, keeping it kind of wet and also keeping the sun off it. So that makes it just generally cooler for a while. Do this a couple more times. And I'm going to go swimming in my hiking shorts instead of my swim trunks to wash them off. And then they will dry really nice and quick out in this hot, hot heat. Oh man, that cold water is feeling just about right now. Oh boy, what a scene. So, straight across there, I believe those are a couple of the best places to see on the island. Diakofti and Avlemonas, if I'm getting those right. And I really want to see them and was planning to go there today. But you can't get there by going along the coast from here because of these big cliffs. So you have to go all the way around, and it would probably be about an hour's drive to get there and then get back to my hotel. And I am just not in the mood for it today, especially after the crazy day that I had yesterday, getting back very late. So not going to go for it today, and today is my last full day on the island. Flight tomorrow, but my flight isn't until 2:30 in the afternoon. Small airport. If I get there around 1 o'clock, drop the car, that should be fine. And so that leaves me some time, if I make good use of the time, to go there. And that is essentially on the way to the airport, so I won't have to drive back. So that is definitely going to be the plan for tomorrow, is try to get an earlier start to the day than usual, because I really want to get over there and see those towns and beaches. Diakofti is supposed to have the best beach on the island, and I was seriously thinking of staying there, basically there and Capsali, where I'm staying, were the two main places I was looking at. But at Diakofti, I guess there isn't much of a scene as far as restaurants and anything else happening there, just like maybe a couple of restaurants or something and not much else. And Capsali sounded like a cooler scene, and it is a very cool scene. So this is a kind of average sized Greek island, I would say, maybe a little bit bigger than average. And so it does take some time to get around and properly explore. All right, going to chillax here for a little while. So it's maybe an hour and a half later. A few other people did show up. So it turned out that the people attached to the car that was up there were on stand-up paddle boards, and they came paddling around that corner. That might be them there. And then a whole carload of people came, and some people came and left. So definitely not a secret, but 5 or 6 people. Can't complain. All right, let's keep on cruising and see a little bit more. I am definitely going slower, covering a lot less ground than yesterday, which is a good thing. Have a little bit mellower day. So stop at those other couple of places on the way back to Capsali and my room. And look at this amazing view. That is wild, that ridge. Whoa. This is a freaking cool looking beach. With umbrellas. It looks so similar to the beach that I went to yesterday. No, it couldn't be the same one. It looks so similar. For a second, I literally thought it was the same one, but no. Little snack bar there. I'm just going to take a look this time. Got my swim in. Okay, so there are a number of people on the beach, and I don't want to be filming people too up close, so thought that I would try to get up here, and turns out there's a trail. All right, look at that. Nice one, man. That water is so unreal. But a very different scene from Firi Beach. So much smaller and umbrellas. But what a sweet spot, man. This island just has everything. Ooh, some sort of a like hole in the rock. Let's go check that out. I guess that's what this trail is going to. But there is just so much on this island. Some of the best beaches, great hiking, lots of different villages and towns, ruins, much that I haven't seen yet. I mean, really a lot that I haven't seen yet. You could spend a week here and still just get a taste of it, it seems like. So I really hope to be back, and maybe sooner rather than later. But I am also pretty stoked about where I'm going tomorrow. And I think that you guys will be as well. Especially to see somewhere other than Greece. But also a really amazing place. Oh wow, very cool. Oh man, what a view. All right. And what's on the other side? Just a big drop, I guess. So I'm now on that awesome looking ridge that I saw from the road. So no beaches along here. Awesome. Out there I can see the castle and the Hora town. All right, well, that is going to do it for today's adventures. It is about 4:30 in the afternoon. I am ready to head back to my room, get in the shade, out of the sun, kick back, relax, and get to work. So tomorrow, last day on Kythira, flight in the afternoon, and then that is to Athens, and I have another flight set up already from there later in the evening, going to where I'm going next. A nice short, like hour-and-a-half flight. So Kythira has absolutely been just phenomenal. If I have to pick a favorite Greek island, I'm still not going to pick one, but Kythira is way up there on the list. So I very much hope to be back sometime, and maybe later on this summer I could see that happening. So a little bit more coming from Greece. See ya. Yasas Kalimera, good morning. So today is Thursday, June 5th, 2025, currently 88 degrees Fahrenheit, that is 31 degrees Celsius. It is definitely heating up. Finally, a church that is open out in the absolute middle of nowhere here. So I have packed up, checked out, rental car right down here, and am making my way across the island. It is about 11 in the morning, and I need to return the car by around 1 to catch my flight at 2:30. So I'm going to make a couple of stops today and just include this on the end of the video from yesterday. I also need to find some brunch, so let's get the day going. My last day on Kythira Island, my last day in Greece. So flight to Athens, lay over there for 2.5 hours, and then my next flight later this evening. So it's been an amazing month in Greece. I have really definitely packed it in. There is definitely part of me that doesn't feel ready to leave, but I've used up 1 month of my 90 days in the Schengen zone of Europe, and there is much, much more that I want to see in other countries. So going to continue the journey and quite possibly come back to Greece again later in the summer at some point, we shall see. So anyways, let's get cruising here. And this is Avlemonas. There's one main thing to see here that I know about anyway. It looks really interesting. Sleepy little seaside town. Church of Ios Nikolaos. Going to resist checking out all the churches. So far, I definitely think that Capsali, where I stayed, is the best place that I've seen to base yourself on the island. Just a perfect little village and bay and beach there. Okay, well, I guess maybe let's park it. And so I think that that is the image that I had seen of an ultimate swimming spot. Look at that teeny tiny little beach. Really pleasant town. And I am so wanting to swim in that crystal clear water, but I have 2 flights to catch and I don't want to be feeling all salty all day, so going to resist. But look at that, great spot. They got it all set up to get out of the water. We got some fishes down there. Another ladder over there. What a unique swimming hole. And then there is a Venetian castle. Right around here. And then I need to make up my mind whether I'm going to grab brunch here or head to Diakofti. Interesting caves over there. So I think the castle is this way. This is definitely looking like another good spot to base yourself. Yep, we got a castle up ahead. Lots of guest houses here, just right on the water. So a very small little castle here, looking closed. Love hearing the sounds of these cicadas. Whoa, we got something up on top of the hill there. Looks like very likely a monastery. Avlemonas Castle. Since the 13th century, Kythira were under the Venetian rule. The port of Avlemonas was the main port of Kythira during the Venetian and British occupation. Here lies the remains of an octagonal Venetian fortress with the Lion of St. Mark at its entrance. Okay, where is that? We saw that also at the castle a couple days ago. I'm not seeing it. The fort was built in 1565 to protect the harbor. Some cannons and rooms of the castle have been preserved. The little fort had cannon ports, a central tower, warehouses, and rooms for the guards. The permanent garrison was 5 men strong. For security reasons, the access to the castle was possible through the surviving external stone staircase onto which a wooden ladder was thrown to gain access to the inside of the castle. Okay, well, let's see if that still exists. And where is the Lion of St. Mark, the symbol of Venice and the Venetian Empire? Aha! And boom, there it is. But this is not an official entrance. I'm assuming that's the Lion of St. Mark. Is actually quite destroyed or whatever. All right. Yeah, it is really small. Of all the castles I've seen, I think this is the one that I would least want to be living in. Super claustrophobic, even with just 5 guys. All right, let's go check out the restaurant scene here. So this is Diakofti, the port. As you can see, ferry sitting there. I wonder if it's going to Piraeus at Athens or else to Crete. I think those are the main two places, or I guess maybe over to the Peloponnese Peninsula. And out there it looks like a shipwreck. And apparently this has the best sandy beach on the island. Not necessarily the prettiest beach, but the nicest sandy beach. And this is one of the places that I was seriously considering staying, but the reviews made it sound like there just wasn't as much going on there as far as restaurants and stuff. So look at this, we have some quite old looking buildings, but looking very rough to get down to them. Let's see if there's a better way. Not sure what these are, but fairly interesting. They just look really, really old. Quite possibly Byzantine era. Okay, we have a entrance that is locked. And an open door there. Well, let's go ahead and brave the prickles. Apparently there are no snakes on Kythira. One less thing to worry about. Anna, give her a call. Full of garbage. Not the most pleasant place to live by the looks of it. Although maybe it wasn't a home, maybe for animals. All right, let's get down to Diakofti, check out the beach, and then I pretty much got to get rolling back to the airport. There you can see very nice sandy beach. I'm now headed over to the port, which I didn't exactly want to do, but I needed to turn somewhere else, I guess, to get over there. So let's turn it around. So just a very short stretch of beach here, and it is super shallow. Looks like for my swimming that I like to do, going back and forth, I'd have to get way out there. So I think I definitely made the right choice staying in Capsali. The reviews seem to be pretty accurate, that it's just kind of a bit more deserted feeling here. But still, definitely not a bad spot. Here as well, super shallow. And one cafe there, looks like a restaurant there. That might be basically it. So far, gotta say, Capsali seems to be the place to stay to make the most of Kythira. All right, well, my flight departs in 2 hours. It's a 15-minute drive to the airport. Gotta drop the car, so that is gonna do it. Time for me to wrap up this Greek adventure. What a just amazing month it has been, and if I'm lucky, I will be back very soon. But next videos coming from another country, and it's going to be really amazing as well. So have a good one. See ya.